Welcome back, it's NIXNE, and today I got another content-packed filled video for you guys with lots of PlayStation news. We are talking about Street Fighter 6. We're going to be talking about PS5 versus Xbox Series S/X sales. We're talking about BluePoint Games and more hints towards PlayStation possibly buying them. And lastly, we're going to be going over the Game Award nominees for Game of the Year. Now, before we get into that, if you haven't subscribed already, please hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell to get notified about all my upcoming videos, and hit the like button. It helps the channel a ton. Now, let's get started with Street Fighter 6, and this comes from PSU.com, and it's titled Rumor Street Fighter 6 in development for PS5 and PS4. The details come via a recent leak at Capcom that also outed info on the upcoming Resident Evil Village and confirms Street Fighter 6 is indeed in the pipeline, and the Capcom is working with Keywords International for the project. The game is also going to be coming to Xbox this time around, unlike last time with Street Fighter 5, where it never really did see the light of day outside of PC and the PlayStation platform, which was, I guess, a deal that they had, so it made sense. Now, it's nice to see that, Street Fighter 6 is going to be on all the platforms available, as, first of all, I'm a huge fan of Street Fighter, and second of all, I would love to see some cross-play functionality to kind of enlarge that pool of players, as when I was playing Street Fighter 5, I'll tell you, I only came across people who have been playing this game for a long time, and at some point, I just wasn't good enough to face most of the people that I was coming across. They were just wrecking me, so it would be nice to have a bigger pool of players. I think it's going to be good for everybody who's interested in Street Fighter. Now, mind you, I did enjoy its exclusivity to the PlayStation platform when it did come out, but I'm more than okay with Street Fighter 6 coming to all the other platforms. Truthfully, Sony doesn't really need to lock this up as an exclusive. I just don't think they need to. They got a lot of exclusives already, and Street Fighter, I don't feel like it's really going to benefit them that much to lock this up as well. I think they should be okay with it going to Xbox. I'm sure they are. Otherwise, they probably would have met up with another agreement for Street Fighter 6. Now, with that said, I think it's exciting that Street Fighter 6 is happening, if it's true. And I imagine it is. It's been a while since we've seen a Street Fighter game. They did arcade, they did all those super, ultra, whatever. But I mean, in terms of a full step up to Street Fighter 6, like a whole next, iteration, yeah, we haven't seen that in a while. So I think it's time, and I think it makes sense for every generation for them to make a new Street Fighter game, and then that way they can just wipe the slate clean, and we all start from the beginning. So it's exciting. I can't wait to see just what this game brings, as this is a game from my childhood back on the SNES, guys. Yeah, Street Fighter 2 Turbo, Street Fighter 2, Street Fighter Arcade, I don't know. I don't remember all the names, but yeah, this was a huge game for me, and I've been playing Street Fighter since its inception on, first of all, the original Nintendo, which I remember playing that, and then, when it first got huge on the SNES. So yeah, definitely a longtime fan of Street Fighter. On to our next topic, and this comes from PSU.com as well. This article is titled PS5 Draws First Blood in Next-Gen Console Sales War. Now here, I'm going to give you guys just, a quick warning. This is about Japan. This is not about, international. This is just Japan, and so these numbers shouldn't come as a shock. But according to Famitsu, PS5 managed to flog a total of 118,000 units during its first 4 days, whereas Xbox Series X/S sold 21,000 units during a 6-day period. So yeah, it's just getting washed. It's not even close. 118K versus 21K, and then we're talking about two different consoles, one being a lot cheaper too. Yeah, it's no competition. But with that said, this is coming from a region that, Xbox doesn't normally sell in anyway. So yeah, it doesn't surprise me in any way, shape, or form that the PlayStation is just washing them in Japan. Now, it's going to be more interesting to see, okay, what's going to happen in, the UK? What's going to happen in Europe, just Europe in general? What's going to happen in North America? I think these are places where the big battles will be made. I imagine that Europe, PlayStation will sell more. I imagine that in America, that's the only place where Xbox has a chance of selling more. And even then, PlayStation is so huge, and it's gotten to a point where it is basically the biggest brand in gaming right now. And it has been for a long time. I would say it's even surpassed Nintendo, in my opinion. So, yeah, I think that, they'll probably win in every territory. But, yeah, in Japan, it just doesn't surprise me. Nobody should take this as a surprise because, yeah, it's gonna definitely wash Xbox in Japan. That's just the way it is. So yeah, that's our first reports of sales numbers, if you care about that kind of thing, and I'm sure we'll get more down the road. But I do think that these consoles are gonna sell off the shelves. I think they're gonna have no stock, no consistent stock for quite a while. I could even imagine all through 2021. So we'll see what happens. But on to our next topic, and this comes from PSU.com as well. Apparently, I'm citing PSU a lot in this video, and it's titled BluePoint Games Tease Fans as Wild Rumors Swirl About a Sony Acquisition in Demon's Souls New Door. So this is exciting, guys, for you guys who are big Demon's Souls fans. BluePoint Games have teased fans on Twitter after rumors have begun to emerge about the studio being acquired by Sony. In a post on Twitter, BluePoint Games tweeted at a number of prominent YouTubers and Twitch streamers who have a strong interest in Souls-like games, tweeting a symphony of rumors and a picture from Demon's Souls of a dead body with an item, alongside a postcard-like caption of "Wish you were here." So this door could really mean anything, and I mean, I guess we'll find out soon enough just what it means. Maybe it's a new dungeon. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know how this works. We'll find out, I guess, soon enough. But in terms of this being a tease for a possible acquisition by Sony, it'd be a strange way to do it. I do think that BluePoint Games will at some point be purchased by Sony, but I don't think this is the way they're going to reveal it. But naturally, this is clearly going to be a big deal in some regard, one way or another. I don't know that, like, yeah, I don't even know what the context would be, but I think we're looking at probably maybe a secret dungeon in the game that is not made available to everybody just yet. So we'll see what happens there. You guys are going to have to let me know what you think of that, as it's not quite clear what we're looking at here. But on to our next topic, and this is a big one, guys. This is the Game Awards, and they've announced a Game of the Year nominees, and it's a competitive year. It's a really competitive year. We've got Doom Eternal, Final Fantasy VII Remake, Ghosts of Tsushima, Hades, Animal Crossing New Horizons, and The Last of Us Part 2. And this is a very competitive year. It's a year where we have three huge hitters. And on top of that, you also have some pretty major multiplayer games as well. And I think we're looking at probably the most competitive year ever for the Game Awards. I could be wrong, but I feel like it probably is. If I were to guess who would win this, I think, and I know it's a lot, like, it's a very, this is a category that is huge, and some of these nominees are super controversial, like The Last of Us Part 2, for example. I think when it comes to Game of the Year, I have a feeling The Last of Us 2 will win. Do I feel that they don't deserve it? No, not at all. I feel like they did a lot of technical, like, extreme things, like things technically that we have never seen in gaming, and I feel like those things deserve to be rewarded. I feel like the story aspect is the most controversial part of it all. If you take the story aside, and I know that the story is a major part of The Last of Us, the game is a technical marvel, and we cannot ignore that. So I do think that will likely win. What do I want to win personally? It's got to be either Final Fantasy VII Remake or Ghosts of Tsushima. I'm a huge Final Fantasy fan. I built my channel on Final Fantasy in the inception period of my channel. But I got to say that I feel like Ghosts of Tsushima did such an incredible job and surprised so many people that I almost feel like I'd love to see Ghosts of Tsushima win, but I think The Last of Us Part 2 will win. But I personally would like to see Final Fantasy VII Remake win. That's how I feel about that. I know it's three extreme different choices, but yeah, and even not to ignore Doom Eternal. That's a huge game. It reviewed really well. People loved it. You know, Animal Crossing did really well, sold a lot. People loved it. Hades, I'm not too familiar with, so I can't say much about that. But it's going to be an interesting year to see just who wins. And I want you guys to tell me who you believe deserves Game of the Year. This will be an interesting one, as I know that there are a lot of fans of all these games on screen here, and I can't imagine, you know, picking just one for Game of the Year because it is super competitive. So I want to pass this on to you guys, and I want to ask you about Street Fighter 6. Do you think that this rumor could be real, that this game is in development? What do you think of the sales battle between the PS5 and Xbox over in Japan? Does any of that really surprise you? How do you feel about BluePoint Games sending out this tweet? What do you think it could possibly mean? And lastly, what do you want to win Game of the Year? Even if it's not on this list, what would you have liked to see win Game of the Year? Let me know in the comments. And as always, if you haven't subscribed already, please hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell to get notified about all my upcoming videos. Hit the like button, it helps the channel a ton. You can follow me on Twitter, link will be in the description, and share this video with a friend. I will talk to you all on the next one. Take care.